Murchison Falls National Park is home to a rich variety of bird species, flora and fauna. A variety of mammal species inhabit the vast savanna grassland. These include giraffes of different ages, Jackson's hartebeest, waterbucks, elephants, lions, buffaloes, oribis and hippos. The Uganda kob and crested cranes are all here. However, this beauty is under serious threat. Poaching was the biggest threat in the past to the habitat. A tour of this expansive national park is incomplete without one seeing the marvelous Murchison Falls from which the park derives its name. The pale brown water drops hundreds of meters down into a clear crystal white fall. Oil exploration and the forthcoming drilling operations in the park could disrupt the ecosystem. And yet the oil resources must be exploited for revenue to boost service delivery and improve livelihoods.
The movement of the elephants, are they going to be impacted? Are they going to cause more elephants to go into raiding of the community lands? And if the answer is yes, then we probably need to do something about the community that's going to be affected. So can we have measures to compensate or mitigate the impacts of the raiding, marauding elephants?
So USAID through WCS with this project, we're looking at long-term partnerships that can be able to address the emerging threats.
Roads will be constructed, pipelines sunk, and other civil works undertaken in the middle of the park. However, Tom Okello, the Murchison Falls National Park Conservation Area Manager, says efforts are being made to check the negative impact of these activities on the protected area.
So as a business baselines, these people have done a lot of ecological and biodiversity surveys to establish what is in the area. So that is already contributing to the resource knowledge of conservation, on biodiversity resources which is available in this national park.
If the oil companies commit to following the International Finance Corporation standards, particularly the Performance Standard 6, then we can reduce the impacts.
It's not clear how much the oil companies and other private sector players are willing to conserving some of the protected areas which will be affected by oil and gas activities and the attendant civil works. Bugoma Forest in Hoima district is under threat. We travelled there through Hoima Fort Portal Road, about 56 kilometers from Hoima town, located in the oil-rich Albertine region. Bugoma is one of the largest rainforests in Uganda. Here, you're welcomed by grey butterflies. Some rested next to dead butterflies, demonstrating the challenges in the ecosystem. The community entirely depends on natural rainfall formed by forests being depleted at an alarming rate. This evergreen vast forest also attracts tourists due to its rich fauna and flora. However, this may be no more. The major threat to Bugoma forests are nearby residents and Changwali refugee settlement, which hosts over 38,000 refugees. Refugee numbers here rise depending on the intensity of the conflict in South Sudan and DR Congo. Every day, makeshift homes for new arrivals or an extended family are being constructed. So there is a huge demand for simple construction materials like logs, since the authorities can't provide enough. Refugees routinely cut trees in the nearby Bugoma forest or construction materials, firewood and timber. The National Forestry Authority is under pressure to protect the forest, but it's constrained.
In the country, environment has not been prioritized. That's the challenge we are facing, because we find we have a limited budget.
The destruction is clear in this section of the forest. The trees are felled and later split using destructive rudimentary tools. And the illegal loggers seem unmindful of the gravity of their actions. This shows the challenges in protecting this highly sought-after resource.
They are consuming a lot of biomass, a lot of energy, and so they need sustainable energy. So we'll be looking at maybe charcoal producing technologies which can be more efficient. We're looking at fuel saving stoves which can increase the efficiency of the cooking. We're looking at make sure sustainable supply of the biomass, that is tree planting, and making sure that those trees that can grow fast are planted so that they can meet the demand of the food so the forest does not get destroyed.
Officials of the Forestry Authority caution residents against cutting down premature trees, causing untold loss since they would grow into bigger trees.
We have to make sure what is remaining now should not be cut.
John Julius Mwereza, the Assistant Commissioner for Environment, explains that the refugees who encroach on the forest are ignorant of Uganda's laws against deforestation and encroachment.
Because they come from Ituri, which is a forest in Congo, I don't know the laws there, but it's like when they reach here, they have to be told that you have to do this and that and that and that. For them, they think every tree they find has to be used.
We've not really intervened there yet. There are other efforts around that area, but these emerging threats require concerted efforts. And so we hope that with partners coming on board with us, we should be able to address these emerging issues.
This dirt road that snakes through the expansive Chinyara sugar plantation leads you to Kasongoire village, located a few kilometers from Masindi town. Due to rampant encroachment on the forest near the sugarcane plantation, Kasongoire village has recorded many cases of chimp attacks as the human-wildlife conflict here deepens. This is the home of Fenekansi Tibareka, whose family is struggling to cope with the deadly chimp attack on one of their own, 14-year-old Miriam Birungi. The chimp ravaged and nearly opened up the girl's stomach as locals tried to rescue the girl. The girl's scars from the attack have never fully healed, still having a wound due to scratching.
Niyo kia iziri, kia kwato mwana kuguru, kia mukurura, nyatere nduru, bantu baija. Mwana mtu aire mukibira, mwana nachura, hate bantu baija bamusanga yoko, bimutagatagira, bimusazire byena, hate bamuyimba yo mwana oko, bamuleta mukahana, bamutwara nka Kinyara, wena lao, aikalira, taikolera mulimo gwona.
As the family tries to get to terms with the challenge of human-wildlife conflict, Birungi's father is uncertain about what the future holds. He says that they have nothing to do. They want their chimps. Even when they kill us, no one cares. A few yards from this home lives a man. He lost his daughter in 2009 after she was attacked by a chimp. The child who followed the deceased stands alone as he glances at his sister's tomb. However, the Wildlife Conservation Society, in conjunction with the Kasongoire Community Association, is bringing hope to the affected people.
We had enterprises which were given to us. They are goats, crops, whereby we have beans, seeds, groundnuts, banana suckers.
Isaiah Isingoma is one of the beneficiaries of the Resilience Fund for compensating affected families, especially when their crops are destroyed by chimps. Isingoma's green pepper garden was about to be covered in weeds until he got funding from the organization, which has given him hope of a good harvest. His pepper is almost ready for harvest. This farmer will be among the people who appreciate the importance of conserving wildlife.
GBF is in partnership with EcoTrust, JGI and Chimpanzee Trust to address the human-wildlife conflict issue in that area. It's one of the sort of fragile areas where the big problem of human-wildlife conflict, particularly with chimpanzees, has been.
We found children chasing after baboons in Budongo Forest in Masindi district. This is dangerous, since the animals could easily fight back in self-defense. On Easter Monday, when many Christians were celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ and others relaxing, Sylvester Ishangara was in pain, nursing wounds following an attack by a chimp which nearly tore off his left hand. The chimps sleep on a tree in the middle of the garden. He keeps this torn shirt as a painful reminder of what happened. But why do chimps attack people? Some experts in wildlife offered explanations.
It depends on how, the attitude of humans towards the chimp. Most people, when they look at chimps, they get sticks, they get pangas, and they want to go towards the chimps. So what comes into the minds of the chimps is like, we are in danger, and they do what it takes to defend themselves from the humans. But when, for example, in most cases we have had chimpanzees grabbing babies of humans. When such cases happen, you're just supposed to remain calm and cool so that you don't put a lot of fear in the chimp, and then they will return the babies at their own time.
We tracked chimps in the forest and found that this part of the forest is still well preserved and has some of the oldest mahogany trees. Here, wildlife interacts well with nature.